Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we're going to give the latest on the heat wave we are seeing across the UK at the moment, and it has been record breaking this afternoon. Many areas did reach 28, 29 degrees, a few regions reached 30. We have seen a 31.2 degrees in Northern Ireland, being the hottest day ever recorded in Northern Ireland, in Ballywattock at 31.2 degrees Celsius, beating the previous record by 0.4 of a degree. Now, you wouldn't expect with this sort of pattern to be reaching temperature records. At least no one really anticipated it. But looking at these exact synoptics, which we'll do in a minute, you can see actually why this did happen. But yeah, very interesting to see that we did reach we got a record today for temperatures. So just shows you how hot it is actually out there, and sort of how widespread this heat is across the whole British Isles. Now, do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you do like and subscribe, and do remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link is in the description for the latest updates on this heat wave. So if we do have a look at the latest GFS, we'll just briefly break down why we saw those record-breaking high temperatures in Northern Ireland. So you can see at the moment we've got this big high pressure over the top of the UK, and you can see the centre of the high is towards sort of Northern Ireland, out just towards west of Ireland. Now, yeah, some will say this actual centre of the high pressure is just out in the Atlantic, but if we do look, you can see there are very few isobars in this area, and what normally restricts the temperatures in especially Ireland, Northern Ireland, and especially parts of Western Scotland is getting winds off the Atlantic. Now in this scenario, because the high pressure is positioned exactly where it is, there are no Atlantic or sea breezes coming in, especially to eastern parts of Northern Ireland. And if we do have a look at the upper air temperatures, you can see very hot air was spreading up from the south. We didn't see the highest upper air temperatures, but we saw very hot upper air temperatures, and in that sort of area it allowed temperatures to climb up to 31.2 degrees, simply because we didn't have that sort of normal westerly wind that we would have. Even if it's at low levels, then normally it's sort of a westerly breeze just keeping temperatures down a couple degrees, which is why we saw these very high temperatures. Now it was unexpected, but it just shows you what we can get when you got big high pressure with hot air just stuck above you. So very interesting to see that, and it could perhaps be broken again tomorrow. But if we have a look through tomorrow at the GFS, you can see that high is starting to shift a bit, as we do pull back a little bit of a cold front down the eastern side of the UK out in the North Sea, which could allow winds to come in from the north, as you see that high pressure pushing out a little bit further westward. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but it could mean temperatures would be a little bit cooler in Northern Ireland tomorrow. But if it does, if the winds do stay light, we could again see mid to high 20s widely in Ireland, and maybe 31, 32 degrees again. But it's most favourable for big temperatures tomorrow in the south and southwest. As you can see in the north and northeast, we do have this cold front moving through, which is going to bring some cooler air, especially further eastwards on Monday to Tuesday. And it could, in fact, trigger a few thunderstorms, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. I've seen a couple model snapshots which have shown the potential for a few thunderstorms in Kent. We just have to keep an eye on that, and I'll look at precipitation charts towards the end of the video. But beyond that, the high pressure builds back in once again with warm air. Not quite as hot as we have now, but around 10, 12, maybe a touch above that 850 HPA, so a couple of degrees cooler than now. So it'll be temperatures comfortably climbing back into the mid-20s or maybe even upper 20s for a few regions before we head into sort of late next week, where we could start to get a bit of hotter air, especially in the southeast, before low pressure does move through with where we do suspect there could be quite a large thundery breakdown. But we'll have to look at that nearer the time, probably early next week, around Monday, Tuesday time. We'll be able to have a better look at how this will break down. Beyond that, that low really does dominate. Now, it still has a warm upper air temperature, so where we do see cloud breaks and no showers, we could see still again low to mid-20s. High pressure does build back in briefly before low pressure does come in off the Atlantic, and it does bring in fresher Atlantic air for the last few days on this model run. and it will mean temperatures will be off the Atlantic, cool, and probably quite breezy, and feeling colder with the potential of some cloud and rain. But that's quite far in the long term, so don't really want to have a look at that at this stage. So if we do have a look at the GFS Ensembles, you can see at the moment we've got these very warm upper air temperatures. Now it's going to drop over the next couple of days towards sort of Monday, where we do see temperatures sort of fall down to touch above average. You can see there are a few precipitation spikes, which could allow temperatures to get up, which could allow thunderstorms to form before we see the temperatures rise up again, gradually to getting around 12 or 13 degrees at 850 HPA before that low pressure moves in with showers and thunderstorms. In the longer term, it does look like there could still be a lot of precipitation around with temperatures around average, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that for sort of 8-9 day time frame and beyond. But it's too difficult to say at this stage exactly what we're going to see. There's no real clear signal, just it does look like there will be at least a period of a few days of low pressure, and beyond that it's hard to say at this stage. So if we now have a look at temperature charts, we'll first go through the GFS over the next sort of week or so, and then we'll go GEM, and then we'll have a look at the ICON and UK Met Office run, as well as their precipitation charts. So if we do run through, you can see this afternoon we got up into mid to high 20s. You can see where in Northern Ireland, where we saw 31 degrees, only around 25, 26, maybe 27 degrees was forecasted. So just shows you what we can get in sort of microclimate conditions. Through tomorrow afternoon, where we could see again 28 to 29 degrees with 30 degrees perhaps in London, and widely again mid to high 20s. Further northwards, a little bit cooler as we do have that cold air coming in. Through Monday, you can see many central and more western areas are seeing the heat, with 26, 27 or 28 degrees. Further eastwards, a touch cooler, but again, we'll just have to keep an eye on how progressive that cold front is, and if it does develop any thunderstorms. Through Tuesday, temperatures again quite warm in the northwest, 26, 27 degrees, a bit cooler elsewhere, only 23 to 25. And then Wednesday, temperatures are gradually going to ramp up again, widely 26, 27, or even 28, 29 degrees. So quite warm there on the GFS, potentially hitting on 30 degrees maybe there. And then by Thursday afternoon, once again, 25, 26, 27 degrees, but temperatures are slowly going to cool down. As you can see on Friday, temperatures are only 21, 22 degrees. So we have showers and thunderstorms moving in. You can see Saturday hardly gets above 20 degrees in many areas. So if we do now have a look at the GEM run, which has been quite bold over the last few videos, you can see widely 28 to 29 degrees in many spots today, and that's what we did see. We saw Northern Ireland forecasting a little bit better with 27 or maybe 28 degrees. And then if we move through into Sunday, you can see widely temperatures into the mid to high 20s and 30 degrees in many central and southern areas in England and parts of Wales potentially as well, and in Southern Ireland as well, seeing 30 degrees potentially there where we do have lighter winds. We can have a look at Monday, and you can see temperatures widely again in the west and the southwest, seeing around 28, 29 or even 30 degrees. Still can't rule out 27, 28 further eastwards, but it's looking likely to be a touch cooler than it will be on Sunday. Through Tuesday, again, widely quite hot, 28, 29 degrees in the west. Things warming up a little bit in the east as well, as that colder air has swept through. Again, in Southern Ireland, could be 30 or 31 degrees. Could be looking at temperature records in Ireland. Interesting to see what it is, but I don't know what it is. But considering Northern Ireland was only 31 degrees, I suspect Ireland isn't, the Republic of Ireland isn't too far away from that. And this GM is forecasting 31 degrees, so we'll have to keep an eye on that for early next week. But widely still 28, 29 in England, and then as we head into Wednesday, very hot again, 30 degrees once again next week, and it just shows you the power of the sun this time of year. All you need is sort of relatively warm upper air temperatures and just sort of stable high pressure with no clouds, and that's what we can. And then days on days of this heat building, and this is where we see these widespread hot temperatures. As we head into Thursday, you can see temperatures again widely 28, 29 or 30 degrees, extremely hot in this GM run. And then finally on Friday, temperatures starting to cool down in the south, 26, 27 degrees, but again still 28, 29 degrees in Scotland. And then by Saturday, all areas starting to cool down, with widely mid to low 20s, potentially 26 or 27 degrees in a few locations, but I suspect the GM is a little bit overdoing it there, as I do suspect cloud and rain is starting to roll in by then. But you can see by Sunday afternoon, many areas not really getting much above 21 or 22 degrees. So if we now have a look at the icon run, see how much this compares to GM runs. The GM was overdoing it a little bit. So you can see Sunday afternoon, widely 28, 29 or 30 degrees in a few locations. As we head in through Monday, you're seeing widely again in the south and the southwest. We're seeing 28 degrees perhaps. Further eastwards, a little bit cooler as we do some colder air coming in. Tuesday, temperatures hotting up again, 27, 28 degrees. And then as we head through to Wednesday, you can see temperatures widely 28, 29 or 30 degrees once again. And then we're having a look at Thursday. You can see temperatures at midday 28, 29 degrees. So I suspect again could definitely reach 30 or 31 degrees on this icon run. If we do have a look at the precipitation type, we'll just briefly run through to Monday, see if any thunderstorms developing. You can see early Monday morning a few showers and maybe thunderstorms developing in Kent, but they really do diminish and they do look like they're going to be developing early in the morning, before we could have a few showers next week, but again, doesn't look particularly likely at this stage. If we do have a look at the UK Met Office run, now this model primarily used by the Met Office for their warnings, their app, and their video forecasts. So it's a very important model to look at. So it's a lot of what the weather warnings based on comes from this raw model data. And you can see tomorrow afternoon, wow, it's going to be hot. It's going to be quite hot, 31 or 32 degrees potentially tomorrow. In sort of the Midlands, Northern England, and even down into Southern England as well. Very hot on that UK metal run. That has upgraded overnight. Yesterday was only really forecasting potentially 30 degrees in a few spaces in the Midlands and potentially London. 30 degrees, a real big heat up there. For Monday, I suspect things will be a bit cooler. You can see cooler in the north and the east, but still very hot in the south and the southwest. 31 or 30 degrees, potentially in the West Midlands. And then through Tuesday, I've gone past. And if we look at Tuesday, again, widely mid-20s, so potentially in that sort of hot spot in southern Wales and the West Midlands, again, could be seeing 30 degrees or so. That's where we could be seeing at 30 degrees, 31, 32, and widely again 28 or 29, maybe 27, further eastwards and further northwards. And then for Wednesday, still extremely hot. Could be seeing 33 degrees on Wednesday. So it does look extremely hot conditions. And then by Thursday again could be seeing 30 degrees. So I'll be very interesting to see if we do now go on a streak of 30 plus degrees days. It'll be very interesting to see if that does come off. Looking at this raw model data, it does look quite likely we could be seeing that, where temperatures in some areas at some point in the UK every single day gets above 30 degrees, which would be pretty exceptional. As if you do look at the raw synoptics of this heat wave, it's not too exceptional in terms of upper air conditions. It's around 4 or 5 degrees or so above average. It's just because we got this big blocking high pressure over the top of us, which is not allowing the air to mix. It just means the hot air stays stagnant in the surface, and we see these temperatures build on each day. So very interesting to see with that, and it'll be very interesting to watch out the next sort of week or so to see what temperature records we could break, and if we do hang on to 30 degrees every single day. I know some people out there don't enjoy the heat, and it's just going to have to be a week of just trying to brave through it, but I know a lot of people do enjoy the heat, so make sure you do go out and enjoy it, as you never know with the UK weather if we're going to see another heat wave again this summer, whether this is the hot spell of this summer, and we'll be looking towards next April, May for the next sort of heat wave. Because at the moment, August forecasts do look a little bit ropey for hot weather. So I'm just trying to say, make the most of the next week or so, as it's pretty much guaranteed wall-to-wall sunshine and very hot conditions. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.